What's going on, everybody? So we had Team USA Women's FIBA play Group A World Qualifying play against Senegal, and they absolutely gave belt. I made a video a couple days, I think it was yesterday, about a couple of things that was going on in the WNBA and the FIBA roster and what I wanted to see. Now, when it came to the game, now I did go live. It was my first live in 8 years, man. It's crazy to think about. It's absolutely crazy. I have not made a live in 8 years. In my first live, it was terrible. I will admit, it was terrible. Got home a little late, trying to, it was, bunch of monitors and trying to figure out and a bunch of stuff. But by the time the second half came, it was better. I was trying to figure out how to work the overlays so that way anyone that were to come into the stream, they could see what the score was, what time was, what the foul situation was, and what have you, while I react to the game live. So yeah, by the second half, I did iron out all those things and whatnot. And as I continue to go on, I will get better and learn and figure it out and whatnot. But the ladies put absolute belt on Senegal, and they won 110-46. I just want to look at a few box scores, give my thoughts, and get in and out pretty early. Let's see here. So we got the box score jumped out on with a 28-11 lead in the first quarter. In the first quarter, we seen, especially with the I believe it was the second unit. Yeah, I think Caitlin came in with the second unit. We seen Caitlin play off ball. We seen Kelsey Plum play on the ball, and that I will say, there was a lot of bright spots. 110-46. Not much went wrong. There's only one thing that I seen that was nothing to be worried about or anything like that. Nothing to be worried about. But the one negative, if there were to have be any negatives, it was a negative, just one negative, and it is right here. Kelsey Plum had a terrible shooting game. Now everybody's going to be in the plus. The plus minus, everybody's plus minus is going to look good, but Kelsey Plum had a terrible shooting game. That is the only negative, right? That's the only negative. And when you have a game like this, 110-46, a bad shooting night for Kelsey Plum, that's okay, right? That's okay, because my video from yesterday, if not the other day, 2 days ago, I made a statement about how much I like Rhyne Howard. The one thing I dislike about Rhyne Howard was just taking too many threes, right? Settling for the outside jumper. Now, what ends up happening? Kelsey Plum has a bad day shooting from outside. What happens? Rhyne Howard, 6 of 9. Of course, she would go 6 of 9 after I said what I said in that video, right? But yeah, the game Kiki, seeing some good things. It's funny watching the bigs for Team USA, as talented as we know them to be. You see them experience the same issues that the Indiana Fever bigs, and for the most part, they're players, because you even have the someone as talented as Kelsey Mitchell with the ball in her hand not be able to handle Caitlin's passes. It's funny to see. It doesn't matter how talented. It's a little different. Those passes, she sees stuff not only before, but some would see things that that they would never see. And go back to the box score here. Derrick Hamby, 8 points, 5 boards, Clea Copper had a quiet 10. I mean, I think most of her 10 was in the first half, if I can remember correctly. Because in the second half, I don't remember seeing much of Clea Copper. That must have been that must have been in the first half, if I can remember correctly. Angel Reese doing Angel Reese things, 8 boards. Angel Reese, I think she had a technical. If I can remember correctly, Angel Reese had a technical this game. One thing I will say about Angel, please stop dribbling the ball up the court. Please. Listen, if you want to go back to Chicago and do that, you want to go back to Chicago, all you want. Have at it. But on this roster right here, with all these guards and Kelsey Plum running a lot of point. Caitlin on the off guard in the first quarter. You got Paige, Caitlin, Chelsea Gray. Yo, just run the court, get the board, run the floor. Please get the ball out of her hands, right? But she played hard on the defensive end and went out and rebound. I will say again, her hands looked bad. There was a ton of blown, smoked layups in this game. Ton of smoked layups. Senegal, they were throwing up stuff that was just smacking the side of the backboard, the side of the board. Crazy stuff. They had one player that, like, when she shot, the damn ball was on fire. But yeah, man. I will say that Angel's shot did look better. Like her free throw, like that did look better. So I'm assuming that during this offseason she went in the lab and worked at that. But her free throw looks real smooth. It's nothing strange and herky jerky, and the rotation, like, she looks good there. It still seems like she doesn't have a low post move, let alone low post game. Look like she doesn't have a low post a move, right? Let's just get to having a low post move, and then we can build off of that. Again, I made a comment about her and Caitlin's pick and roll. I don't think it's going to be a real thing. And she did have one moment in the fourth quarter where she had got could have been a pocket pass off of a pick and roll, and instead of dropping it to the other big that was down there, because that big's defender came over and slid, Angel tries to score, but of course Angel does what Angel do, closer to the rim, tries to lay it up, smacks it up under the backboard. But yeah, so I see improvement in her free throw. Now Rhyne Howard was absolutely amazing, man. 21.6 of 9 from Trey. She was really good, man. She had it going. Kelsey Plum can have a bad game when you have Rhyne Howard shooting what she did and Caitlin shooting 4 or 5. Caitlin looked good. 17 and 12. Right? 17 and 12. 4 or 5 from 3. Double. First FIBA senior roster game. She looked good, man. She had one moment in the fourth quarter which kind of scared me when she got fouled on a deep 3. And right now, anytime something like that at the legs, I'm nervous. I do not want to don't want to experience another season. Now, we don't know. It was some news that popped up as I was beginning this video. There was some news popped up. I still don't believe they have came to terms with a new CBA as the making March 11th, 9:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They haven't came to a agreement or anything like that, so we still don't know if we're gonna what's gonna happen with the season. But it was just nice to be able to step away from some of that for a little bit, because every time we have been talking about the WNBA players, it has been about that business, that ugly stuff that's going on with the business side of the league and the players and things like that. So this, we were able to just get back to the game and see these players and these different combinations, and we get to see Kelsey Plum and Jackie Young again, and we get to see Kelsey Plum run the offense, and then Caitlin come off of screens, and then we get to have they were doing a lot of pretty much these hockey shifts where they just subbing out all 5 line changes, right? So we were able to see Paige and Caitlin, yo. Paige and Caitlin play, so it works. It works, man. And I will always say, I'm from Connecticut, born and raised, right? Born and raised from Connecticut. Gino not reaching out and getting Caitlin, and Caitlin wanting to go to UConn because he already had Paige. It kind of just, at the end, it all worked out. Caitlin was able to become who she wanted to become, or became who she ended up becoming, and Paige ended up, with that ball on top and her winning her national championship against South Carolina in her final game at UConn. But those two, their games work. So we didn't get to see them play together because of Gino. However, we got Caitlin Clark, the infamous Caitlin Clark, right? And Paige still got to become who Paige. So it worked out for both of them. UConn could have possibly won about 2-3 national titles. UConn could have won 2-3 national titles with Paige and Caitlin. South Carolina lucked out. South Carolina, you lucked out. Stanford, you lucked out. That those two didn't play in Storrs, Connecticut together. Their games work, man. We got to see a little two-woman game between them in the fourth quarter, but the two-woman game went to Caitlin dishing out to Paige on the wing for a tray ball, and Paige returns a favor later on in the fourth quarter. We seen Caitlin and Rhyne Howard hooking up, right? We seen them hooking up. Caitlin hooking up Rhyne Howard for a few open jumpers and what have you. Kiki every ear friend, she played well. Monique Billings, she played really damn good. But yeah, man, it was a good game. They played well. Kelsey Plum was the only negative about her scoring, but just about her shooting. And I'm sure that's not going to last at all. I don't expect Kelsey to have 2 bad shooting games. And if she does, there's enough firepower to overcome that. I don't believe Rhyne Howard's going to go 6 of 9 again. And if she don't, again, there's enough firepower to get them past. I believe it's Puerto Rico. So it's going to be Puerto Rico tomorrow, March 12th at 8. And I will be watching that. Now, as I was setting up and getting ready to start recording this video, I seen that I just seen the headline that there was no agreement made. However, I did see this article end up popping up that I want to get into. It's Charles Barkley making a few comments, like we know Charles Barkley to make, right? Let me just go ahead and bring that up here. And here we go. All right. It says Charles Barkley sends warning to Caitlin Clark and WNBA stars amid pay dispute. 21:14, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's about 40 minutes at the time of me making this video. And NBA icon and analyst Charles Barkley warned WNBA stars, including Caitlin Clark, to think carefully about standing firm in their labor fight with the league as negotiations over a new CBA continue. Charles Barkley warned WNBA players standing up to the league and urged them to avoid. Okay, so Charles Barkley, I just want to, get the actual stuff that he was talking about and not all the fluff and whatnot, right? Charles Barkley warned WNBA players standing up to the league and urged them to avoid a lockout or strike. Charles Barkley believes the WNBA's escalating labor battle is drifting toward dangerous territory, and the Hall of Famer warned its biggest stars to reconsider their firm stance as negotiations over a new collective bargaining agreement continue to stall. With all star players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Breanna Stewart publicly advocating for more league revenue, Barkley argued that the negotiation language might prevent an unfavorable strike or lockout. So he made these comments on his podcast, The Steam Room, with Ernie, as WNBA players that's WME Star, excuse me, who only hoop to pay the bills, worry about the lockout. Players like Clark and Reese continue to expand their off-court empires. Yeah, I said this in a video yesterday that um, players like Caitlyn and Angel and Paige and Juju, when her time like they because of NIL, they're good. They're off the court is just so like what they're making in the league is whatever, right? Their money is coming from off the court. The on the court money is whatever. And what I was saying in that video essentially was that it's not them. Caitlin's gonna play middle. Caitlin's always gonna play middle. Caitlin is a Republicans buy shoes too, right? She's not gonna say anything. She's like Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Caitlin's not gonna say anything to get one side of people upset with her. She's gonna play the middle. Now Angel may be a little different. Angel's gonna ride with the players. Caitlin's gonna play in the middle, right? Caitlin's gonna play in the middle. Angel's gonna ride with the players. But the issue with that is Clark and Reese, Page, they're good. It's these older players, man. It's the older players. I said this in my video yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever the day. I think it was yesterday. It's those Fees, Stewies, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier. It's those type of players. The players that are in their, early 30s, 31, 30, 29, 28. It's those players. It's those players that realize that this CBA may be their very last big contract they're going to get. They realize that. And they're holding everything hostage so they can get theirs right now instead of taking a little, playing engine, and then moving it forward for the next group of ladies to come. Right? It's just, it is what it is. Like you can't be mad at Caitlyn and Angel and Paige for being 2021 and having millions of dollars in endorsement. It's just, they were born in what, 2000, 2001, right? NIL just happened to come at the time of when they were in college and it worked out for them, right? You just got to figure out, get in where you can get in at, right? These older players are holding this hostage, right? That's what's going on. Let's see what else Chuck says. In 1993, NBA MVP expressed the belief that workers could never overpower billionaires, multi-millionaires, or entire corporations. Ladies, I want you all to get paid, and I wish you the very best, but y'all gotta be very careful, he said. Y'all get in that room and say, hey, let's make the best deal. You don't want a strike. You don't want a lockout. Yeah, it's some players like, these max contract players. Yeah, these max contract players that are a little bit older, right? 28, 29, 30, what have you. They trying to get all the money. They're trying to go crazy, right? They're trying to get everything right here, right now, and some. But it's some of these players that have been bouncing around from team to team that are not max, that's like, yo, this 90,000, this 100,000, this 115, whatever they're making, yo, they don't want to lose the league. They don't want to miss time, miss games, miss money. They don't want to lock out. They don't want to lock out. It's the players, it's those max players that's trying to get this one big bag, right? It's them. It's not the other players. It's these role players that's on these teams that which is basically majority of the league, right? They're going to be the ones that's going to hurt. You don't want to lock out at the end of the day. He also condemned the public. So the TNT analysts also, which they're not considered TNT analysts anymore, right? The TNT analysts also condemned the public attacks directed toward the league's leadership, especially Commissioner Kathy Engelbert. Yeah, especially what Fee did when they end up losing to Phoenix in the playoffs, right? When y'all start bad-mouthing the commissioner, you have to remember one thing, he continued. The commissioner works for the owners. You might not get paid what you're worth, but you can get paid what you want. You might not get paid what you're worth, but you can get paid what you can get. Again, you don't want to miss this season. You don't want to miss no games, no season, no nothing. And to be completely honest, I you know, I believed um, that the league's offer, I thought it was really generous. To be completely honest, I thought it was really, really generous compared to what I thought they were gonna get. But yeah, they haven't. Let me make one more look and see if anything has came down. 18 minutes ago, WNBA and Players Union resume labor talks after 12-hour session ends without a deal. So this was 18 minutes ago. Let me see. Bring this in. So yeah. So it has WNBA players, and they have not came to a deal yet. WNBA player Rakia Jackson filed a petition for protection. Oh, that's a completely different story right there. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Again, the game tomorrow against Puerto Rico, I will be definitely watching. Just wanted to give my comments and my thoughts on the game, and catch you guys on the next one.